the test tomorrow is going to be worth 90 points. That means there'll be how many answers, do you think?
5.
Well, could be, or in this case, there's going to be 30, worth 3 apiece, okay? So 30 answers. So let's just kind of start out here, and you can get out your highlighters, and we'll see if we can figure this out and know what's going on tomorrow. Okay, we'll just start right here with Keller. Tell me one of England's leading universities that several Puritans attended before coming to America. One of the two. Shh, let him answer. Cambridge. How about a second one? Blaine, what's the other one? Oxford. Okay, I would know those. Okay, Mason. Who was a deeply religious man who secured a charter for the royal colony of Rhode Island?
Roger Williams.
Roger Williams. Very good. Okay, Nilo, think about this. Where was the landing site for the Pilgrims in America? Landing site, not settlement. Landing site. Provincetown. Very good. So, Will, what was the settlement area called for the Pilgrims? What? Plymouth. Very good. Okay. Brooke, what was the agreement in which the Pilgrims promised all due submission and obedience? What was that called?
The Mayflower Compact.
Very good. The Mayflower Compact. Okay, Kyle. Who were the two men that organized the Massachusetts Bay Colony? Okay, you're right. Organized the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
John Withrow and Sir Richard Saltonstall.
Yep. John Winthrop and Sir Richard Saltonstall. I know both those fellows. Okay. Cody, who is the famous pilgrim that is related to Mackenzie, who noted the day the Pilgrims began to erect the first house at Plymouth? What's that? William something. Now come on, this is Mackenzie's relation. You got to get the whole thing here. So it's the one I forgot to put on your ID sheet, by the way. You made a quote.
Yeah.
We've got lots of time, so you can do it. I don't want you to miss out. Tyler, give him a hand. We got all day. Okay, who was the famous pilgrim who noted the day the Pilgrims began? If I have to go to Mackenzie on this, I don't know what I'm going to do here.
You should ask Tyler again.
William Bradford.
Go with
It's William Bradford. Yeah, I'm missing that. Can you help me with that? Because I'm just getting old.
His name's Nick.
Thank you. See that? See? William Schreiber. I tell you what, it's such a bad habit. I had two boys about the same age apart that I get it. Yeah, I get it. I should ask you that. Didn't even get it. Well, okay, Nick, we're going to give you a reprisal here. So what did you say, Cody? William Bradford. Very good. Okay, Nick, thank you for straightening me out of that. Tell me the first village that was founded in Rhode Island. What was it called? Providence. Very good. Okay, moving on to Bailey. Who is the reverend who took followers and moved southwest from the Massachusetts Bay Colony and settled at Hartford? Who was that guy? Because I'm sure you got on the video last night. You got this, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you should know this. I'm pretty impressed that you'll get this thing. Who is the reverend who took followers and moved southwest from the Massachusetts Bay Colony and settled at Hartford? Very good. Nice guess. Yeah, Thomas Hooker. Know who that is. Okay, Sierra. Tell me the 3 colonies that were settled in Connecticut and ruled by the fundamental orders of Connecticut?
In Connecticut?
Yep. No, give me the 3 colonies that were settled in Connecticut that together were ruled by the fundamental orders of Connecticut.
Hartford, Windsor, and Leominster.
Very good. Repeat those again so they can all hear it.
Hartford,
Okay?
Windsor,
Okay.
and Wethersfield.
Very good. Okay, Nyabeth, who is the man who first settled the northern territory we know as Maine today? Northern territory. Because when those 2 guys went up there, one went south, one went north, one went to Maine, and one went to what became New Hampshire. So who did the Maine part? Who went north?
Fernando Gorges.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, who went south then, Courtney?
Fernando. What was the question again?
Who went south?
Who went south? I have
What do you have?
John Mason.
Is that what you have
Yeah.
in your notes? Okay. Okay, John Mason. Perfect. Okay. Miss Cottrell, how many separatists, also known as pilgrims, landed off the coast of Cape Cod on November 11, 1620? How many? How many separatists, also known as pilgrims, landed off the coast of Cape Cod on November 11, 1620? 102. Very good. Okay, here's one for you, Molitor, because I know you're going to get this. Many of these separatists actually came from the Netherlands to America because of freedom of religion in that country. Why then did they choose to move their families to America from the Netherlands if they had the freedom of religion?
Because they wanted their kids to speak English.
Not
Dutch.
Dutch. Then make sure you had that. They wanted their children to speak English, not Dutch. Okay, very good. Okay, Talon, tell me the definition of a compact. Pretty simple. Agreement. Compact is an agreement. Okay? Chantel, what positive surprise did the Pilgrims discover when they landed at Plymouth?
All the fields were cleared.
All the fields were cleared. Very good. Easy. I'm feeling like I may be getting the job done here. I don't know. Maybe I'm just too easy. Okay, Miss. I kind of picked on you already, so I'll go. Even though, but she answered the question for you. So Kylie, here you go. Name one of the 3 resources that the Indian Squanto taught the Pilgrims about.
They taught them how to use the
Forest. Is Shania. Another one? Forest. Well, not crops. What would you say instead of crops there, Carly? Soil. Thank you. And how about the 3rd one then, Shania? We won't pick on you too bad. Resources. Natural resources. Soil. What did you say, Kylie? Forest. Seed. The seed. Thank you. Seed. Okay. Miss McKendry, tell me one of the 4 seeds of native plants that Squanto supplied the Pilgrims, which was crucial to their survival in America. Pumpkins, another one, Buck. Corn, another one, Taylor.
squash.
And the last one, Gracie.
Beans.
Beans, very good.
It was Indian.
Madison. Who, okay, this is in honor of Gibbons and Molitor. Who, other than the Pilgrims and the Indians, joined the group for the first Thanksgiving in America?
Netherlands.
30 other settlers from the Netherlands. Thank you very much. Okay, now Soraya, we're clear back there. We haven't got you yet, so here you go. Give me one example of how the Puritans were much more prepared when they arrived in America compared to the Pilgrims.
They brought talented people that were talented and prepared.
Well, how about a little more specific?
Ouch.
Talent could be, hey, how's it going? Counted singers or what? I mean, talent, come
Like
on.
carpenters and
Okay, they brought, now when I ask you for 3 examples, you don't say carpenters for one example and like that, so just go ahead.
they brought talented
Skilled
people. They brought
workers such as, read it, do it this way. Skilled workers such as carpenters. What do you have in your notes? You can look at your notes, it's okay, that's why you take them. Skilled workers such as carpenters. How about somebody help us? Carpenters, masons, blacksmiths, shipbuilders, and several workers in different trades. I would take, if you could come up with skilled workers such as 2 of those, that'd probably be just great. Okay? All right. How about another one? We'll back over to Brooke. How about another example of how the Puritans were much more prepared when they arrived in America compared to the
They had an ample supply of food.
ample supply of food and supplies. That'd be good. Will, how about the last one? Oh, she said that already. They brought, right? No, she didn't say it. Go ahead.
Knowledge.
They brought people that were smart, graduates of Cambridge and Oxford, right? You could say they brought people that were college educated. That might be a good way to put it. Okay, Talon, give me one example of how Roger Williams's ideas soon faced opposition from leaders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony.
They chased they made them around pass.
No, I want you to give me the example of why they did that. Give me one example of how Roger Williams's ideas soon faced opposition from leaders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony, which led to them running him off.
Because they thought the colonists had no right to land unless they bought it from the Indians.
Very good. How about another one, Shania?
Political leaders in Massachusetts companies should have no authority over religious.
Very good. That religious, that leaders should have no say over what? Religious matters. Very good. And the third one there, Milo? No crap, I don't think was one, but I don't know. What's the third example of how Roger Williams' ideas soon faced opposition from leaders of the Massachusetts Bay Colony? One was nobody had a right to land unless they bought it from the Indians. The other one is he didn't believe that leaders should have any say in religious matters. That was the last one. Call on Nick.
Call on Nick.
What?
Can I call on Nick?
Call on Nick. Take a lifeline, or what do they call it, Nick?
Yeah.
I didn't hear it.
They could worship God how they wanted.
They can have freedom of religion. Is that correct? Okay, very good. Okay, Kyle, give me, or tell me the answer to this. When fleeing from the Massachusetts Bay Colony to avoid being exiled back to England, who did Roger Williams take shelter with?
I'm gonna slaughter this pronunciation. The god
Narragansett.
Narragansett Indians.
Very good, Narragansett Indians. Now, I want to make a point. If I ask you that question, I would expect Narragansett to be spelt correctly. If I ask you who did this and it was Roger Williams, I would expect that to be spelt correctly. So you need to understand that. So if I ask you a question, for example, if I say to you, who is the deeply religious man who secured a charter for the Royal Colony of Rhode Island? If I ask you that in a short answer question, you should spell that correctly, Roger Williams, okay? With Sir Richard Saltonstall, who organized the Massachusetts Bay Colony? I would expect that to be spelled correctly if I ask it in a short answer question. Yes?
Will this test be short answer or multiple choice?
See, he's Mason, he's a thinker. This test will be the following. Why it would be beneficial to take it before or not. It'll be 10 matching. 10 matching. It will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 short answers. That doesn't mean that'd be questions, but you'll give 15 answers. And that'll be 5 true and false. I want to try you on those. Okay, Courtney, what was my tip on true and false? Was that this class I told her the last time? What was my tip on true and false?
The size of the dates are always right?
That's a good point. The dates will never make the answer true or false. What's another tip I gave, Bailey? Remember?
I don't think you ever did that.
Bailey,
That's the one I remember. Oh, yeah.
anybody remember? I've been Mason. Now go ahead.
You just go with your gut, the first answer.
Yeah, read it one time really well and answer it, because if you go back to it,
Just say yes or something.
another thing is, don't look for things that aren't there. Read the question. If it is true in your mind, mark true. Okay? But if it isn't true, if you think it sounds funny, you got to figure things out. Now, I'll give you a little bit of a hint. Is it easier to write true and false questions that are true, or is it easier to write them if they're false?
True.
A lot easier to write them if they're true. It's hard to write a true or false question that's false, which generally would tell you that a majority of your true and false questions would be what? True. I'll give you a story. We're a hell of a basketball referee if you didn't know that, okay? I've probably given Bailey Gibbons more breaks than I ever should have in my life on the basketball court. But anyway, you have to take a 100 question true or false test to pass your basketball test. So you know me, I'm a little anal on these things. So I take the test, which by the way I only missed one, and whoever wrote the damn question had to be wrong. But anyway, so I decided to look over the answers, and if you would have answered every single one of those questions true last year on the basketball test, you would have gotten a 70%, which is what you needed to pass. So that tells you it's more difficult to write a false question than it is a true question. That, I mean, might be all false tomorrow, but my point is, probably won't be, but my point is, statistically, if you have true or false questions, they're normally going to be true. Now, we don't try to trick you on these. It'll be fact or fiction, and like Courtney said, the date will not make the difference. If there's a date on there, it would be correct. Okay? Now, I'm not going to do it on this test, but I will tell you in the future, if I ever have a true or false quiz or test with at least 10 true or false questions on it, if you answer and miss every single true or false question, I'll give you credit for them all correct. Because it would be harder to answer them all incorrect than it would be correct unless you knew the correct answer. But I had a kid do that. Keith Campbell, I hope he watches this. Keith Campbell, my first year in education, he got mad at me. He's the superintendent in Miles City right now. That's how old I am. But anyway, superintendent of schools in Miles City, Montana. And I had taught 6 classes of U.S. history the first year of teaching, which was really nice because I was telling Hannah, you can really learn history when you repeat it 6 times a day. But anyway, he and Scott Alder were screwed around in my class and got me kind of irritated. And so I went down to the guidance office, and it was real easy to switch them into a different class because I had taught 6 of them. So I didn't say anything to Keith, and him and Alder came in. I thought I'd just see how it went, and they started fooling around. They says, right? I says, Ken, what the hell are you doing in here? You're not in this period. You're in 6th period. He looked at me, and he's been there about a week, you know. And he says, well, I'm not in 6th. I said, you're a junior in high school. You don't know your own schedule? He goes, well, no, I've been in here the whole time. I said, you haven't been in here 2nd period the whole time. I'm guaranteed you're in 6th period history. And he says, well, he thought I was crazy. And so I said, we'll go down to Mr. Medved check the counseling office. I'm sure that you're in 6th period. So we went down there, and of course Medved told him that I switched him because him and Alder were screwing around. So he came back bound determined to show me. So we had a true or false test the next time, and he was going to get them all wrong. And by God, show me. Well, guess what? He got them all wrong except for one. So what happened to him?
C.
Yeah, he missed 9 out of 10. So don't, you know, you can try that if you want, but that's the deal. Okay. All right. So 90 points tomorrow. Now I'm going to say that we're going to meet in the Commons. I know that Mrs. Vickers is going to have a test in there also. So what I'm going to do is we're going to split the Commons up, and I'll talk with you. So I want you to go ahead and go in there and study like you have before. Then we'll either stay at the big tables or we'll move over to the round tables. If we move to the round tables, I think there's enough round tables over there that we can almost get 1 to a table, but if we can't, we might have to put 2, but we'll improvise. So, does anybody have any questions on the test review at all? Anything we're going to do here? Okay, are we good to go? You guys have done very well, so I expect another perfect effort. Now, as I mentioned,